This is a deep dive of the second Dune Part 2 trailer. Now, a fair warning, this video is going to contain spoilers, so if you do not wish to be spoiled, please watch another video of mine.
I got that. Thanks.
Now with that out of the way, let's get straight into this deep dive of the second Dune Part 2 trailer. There are a lot of parallels between this trailer and Dune Part 1. We get a parallel shot, reminiscent of Paul's spice vision from Part 1, but instead of Paul Atreides being revealed beneath the stillsuit helmet, it's Chani. We also get the parallel shots of Paul raising his knife to a crowd, and Fade raising his knife to a crowd. And since the release of the first Dune Part 2 trailer, they've clearly updated some of their VFX work. When Paul approaches the crowd above the rock face, they're raising their hands in celebration, but in the latest shot, they are still and patient. There's also less of them in the crowd. Some of the crowd seems real and stay the same, but the majority seem computer generated. In other shots we get less traces of footprints in the sand. This ship seems to be a similar ship that we've seen in Dune Part 1, but it's firing from underneath. This is the shrine of Duke Leto's skull, and if you look you can actually see the skull of the late Duke. The image is surrounded by decorative symbols, a diamond with a dot inside it, and it seems to be linked to religiosity. The symbol of holiness on the shrine is the same symbol on the knife of the Emperor, a diamond shape with a dot, which Fade uses in the battle between Paul. This could be a common symbol of holiness or religiosity throughout the Imperium in Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Perhaps the Emperor sees himself as divine.
We gave them something to hope for. That's not hope! We gave them something to hope for. That's not hope!
This seems to be two takes of the same scene, but this take is the exact same take.
That's not hope!
Which means Timothée Chalamet pretty much nailed that particular take. But the shot with the blue within blue eyes is from the second trailer, and the one without the VFX is from the first trailer, which again shows that they've been doing VFX work since the release of the first trailer. Paul is going to receive some nasty injuries in the fight with Fade, and quite a nasty cut is above his eye. This is probably the blood Timothée Chalamet was referring to in this interview.
In Dune and Budapest, there's a good amount of blood in that.
And these injuries explain the shot of a bloodied hand, with the ring of the sigil of House Atreides. Someone here is swearing fealty or allegiance to Paul Atreides. It also has the orangey glow of an Arrakis dawn, which falls onto the Fade versus Paul fight. Who do you think is swearing fealty after he defeats Fade in battle? Leave your guesses as to who it is in the comments. Whoever it is will likely have to kiss the ring. This is Chani calling a sandworm. These are Harkonnen soldiers trying to find Paul Atreides and his mother, Jessica. And this is definitely going to be a violent sequence. First Jessica rocks him from behind, and then she goes for a second blow. While he faces her on the ground, she'll break his helmet, and she'll probably go for a third blow. This looks like Raban being given control of Arrakis, and this seems to be the city of Carthag, and this looks like Carthag being destroyed. This is an army of Harkonnen troops, and they're doing some weird salute. The Harkonnen flag has changed from red and white to gold and black. This isn't a camera shadow, these are floating orbs, assisting the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen in keeping him alive after the injuries he sustained from the poisonous gas delivered by Duke Leto. Paul is wearing what looks like a chimère, or as some would call it, a desert scarf, and it seems to have Fremen writing on it, similar to how Jessica wears Fremen writing on her clothing. And this is Paul sitting with Shishakli and Chani. This is the Fremen conducting a razzia raid on a Harkonnen harvester, a word that comes from Algerian Arabic, and it refers to a surprise attack, and these operations were to disrupt Harkonnen spice mining. And in Chani's viewfinder you can see a reflection of the ornithopter. This attack happens fairly early on, in Dune Part 2, because Paul doesn't have his blue within blue eyes. This is the Fremen slipping under the harvester, and are likely setting explosives in order to destroy it, and give the current governor, Raban, hell, which is what these shots mean. Behind Gurney we can see a burning harvester, which is likely part of another razzia raid. This is the Water of Life, and this finger dipping into the Water of Life is actually Zendaya as Chani. In the book, she dips her finger in the Water of Life to awaken Paul, who is in a spice trance. This is the Fremen Reverend Mother Ramallo, who could be played by British-Iranian actress Seema Rostami, who plays an elder. And if I'm not mistaken, the Fremen Reverend Mother is supposed to appear younger in the visions of the changing of the Water of Life. So we should see whoever is playing Ramallo as a younger actress in those visions. And this symbol on the Reverend Mother's forehead looks like a DNA strand, which symbolizes the Bene Gesserit and their schemes to produce the Mahdi or the Kwisatz Haderach. In this moment, Chani sees something that truly shakes her world, and Paul Atreides tries to stop her. It could be the loss of someone close to her, and this could be the moment that she loses her son. We see more of Chani wearing the blue Nazoni scarf, which indicates that the Fremen who wears it has given birth to a son. And here we see Chani wearing it in battle, tied around her arm. In the book, after unfortunate events, this likely indicates that she has lost her son, and wears the Nazoni scarf around her arm to honour her son's memory. You can also see her wearing it after the battle. This shot makes the Fremen look like grains of sand. And this is Paul Mu'addib wearing the burqa or Fremen mantle, clothing which comes from the North Caucasus. The love between Paul and Chani will probably occur fairly quickly in the movie, and if you're a channel member or a patron on Patreon, you'll know my theory of an exact timestamp when this occurs, and you could say it's fairly early on.
I don't believe you.
I will love you as long as I breathe.
These are the tents belonging to the Sardaukar legions, and it looks like a Mayan pyramid. Here you can see metallic lines extending from the ship in the sky to the Sardaukar tents below, and this ship is the Emperor's palace. I like the idea of the castle in the sky, a ship not quite landed, ready to leave at any moment. What I believe happens is something descends from the ship itself, one giant piece, and then this metallic piece unfolds into a giant metallic tent, which will house the Sardaukar. And this is an idea that comes directly from the book. A tent composed of interlocking metal leaves, the temporary lodging place for 5 legions of Sardaukar, and His Imperial Majesty the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV. This is the Emperor and Princess Irulan playing Cheops, or pyramid chess. These symbols seen on Rabban's necklace, which was given to him by the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, seem similar to the symbols found on the clothing of the guild representatives of the Imperial Court from Part 1. This is likely Sietch Tabr, and this is what it looks like underneath a Sietch, or Sietch as it will be pronounced in the movie. This looks like a council of naibs, or leaders of a Fremen Sietch.
I don't care what you believe, I believe!
Stilgar is saying this to Paul Atreides. Paul pounds his chest here, similar to how Jamis hit his chest before his battle with Paul. Fade seems to be wearing a black mouthguard again, or he simply has black teeth. Some believe that this figure is Alia, but if we take a closer look, it appears to be Paul Atreides. But this figure beside Stilgar is interesting. Some believe that this is actually Alia, but it's important to note that the figures are kneeling before they both rise up. This female figure is similar in height to the man beside her as a result. So perhaps she is too tall to be a child. Whoever this figure is, it looks like Freya Allan from The Witcher. But what do you think? Do you think this is Alia? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you to all my supporters. Check out some of my other Dune content or some of my other popular culture videos here.